And good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on Graps TV. I'm your host, the Matty Man, live on the Sicko Show. What a day! What a day! What a day! What a day! We've been waiting on this day here, and it's finally here. Oh my goodness. The TV deal is signed. I'm waiting on the final numbers. I've heard anything from 150 to 170. I've heard streaming on Max, which is something I really am glad to hear. No questions asked, none of that. Give me a second here. I'm trying to keep up with some stuff. We've had some issues with the stream and the chats and everything. So this time I'm going to do my best to keep up with all of it and see what's going on. Give me just a minute here, guys. I'm working on it. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm just trying to get through a couple of things here. Bear with me just 1 minute here. Oh boy. Let's see here. It's me. View all. Okay, so I can't see it just yet. I'm working on it. I am working on getting the chats in. I do apologize because I can't see them unless you're coming through Twitter. And I'm checking my multi-streams right here. Let's see here. All right, I think I can see stuff. I don't know. So if you got a chat, drop a chat in there. Either way, I mean, whew. Let me make an adjustment here real quick. There we go. There we go. That's much better now. All right. So how's everybody doing today? I'm doing fantastic. Been following the news, been following everything else. As you can see, the layout went through some changes because luckily enough, we got back some of the WWE content on the television here, so I'll be able to cover it. I don't like to cover things I haven't physically seen with my eyes. And that's just the way I am. So, you know, I don't want to tell you wonderful people anything that's other than something I've seen with my own two eyes. And the TV deal does kind of rank up there with that. Let's roll through it here real quick. Let me get where I'm at here. Let's see here. Here's what I have so far. Key details of the deal. Number one, it's a multi-year agreement. The new contract is a 3-year deal with an optional 4th year. Of course, we all knew that. Valued at approximately $170 million, and we don't know what that 4th year is going to be. This significant investment underscores Warner Brothers Discovery's confidence in AEW's ability to attract viewers and generate revenue. We have an expanded platform presence here. TBS and TNT will keep their flagship shows. Dynamite and Collision will continue to air on TBS and TNT. True TV. The deal also includes plans to air AEW programming on True TV, further expanding AEW's reach across cable. Now, here's the big piece. Streaming on Max starting in January of 2025. Dynamite and Collision will be simulcast on the streaming service Max. This move marks a significant step in AEW's digital strategy. Now, something you need to know right now, too, is Max is currently being viewed by almost 100 million people. So definitely we've got a bigger platform. Everything's laying out a little better. And the reach is going to be way further than TBS and TNT and really even True TV. I think they're sitting at an average viewership of about 7 to 8 million pops. So having AEW on Max streaming the shows and simulcasting them live and in living color on Dynamite and Collision can only do great things for AEW, can only raise their profile. Enhance the viewer experience. The inclusion of streaming on Max is expected to enhance the viewer experience by offering live streaming options and potentially exclusive digital content. This aligns with the growing trend of digital consumption and caters to the preference of modern wrestling fans. See here, let me get through the top end of it here. Get through all the rah-rahs and the hoorahs. More content, more flexibility. That's basically what we're looking at right there. It's awesome. Hey, we got 10 viewers. Bear with me here just one more second. Thank you. Having 10 this early in the stream is kind of cool. I can't tell you how many times I've talked and talked and talked and talked and talked, been 8, 10, 15, 20 minutes in before the first person comes in. We got 11 right now. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, let's go through the details of what all of this actually entails. And we haven't even gotten an update yet on Fox. Of course, you see the wait a minute, there we go. Now, there we go. I got to remember, point opposite for where I want to go. You see that I'm going to be covering AEW Shockwave as it shows up on Fox as well. We don't have any updates on that yet. I am going to talk about the matches. I'm going to have a conversation here now about NXT last night. I actually saw it again this morning just to make sure that I had my head screwed on straight, and I got a couple of discussion points for this. Number one, having Roxanne Perez go over Julia, only to have Ethan drop the title to Trick Williams, tells me an awful lot about what the original plan was there. And with Trick Williams picking up the title off Ethan Page, I think we're fairly safe and secure now in saying that Ethan Page was just basically a big middle finger to AEW, and they only just wanted him around a little bit just to say, ha, we already got a title on him. And I get it, it's fine. Hey, I'm very happy for Ethan Page. I want everybody to get that. If somebody decides to clip this, probably going to be me. I don't want anybody to take out of context the fact that I am happy for any wrestler being anywhere that raises their profile. And obviously, when Ethan Page first discussed the move from AEW to WWE NXT, he said he was really happy because a lot of things are prepared in advance. And that's probably his style. So I don't have a problem at all with Ethan Page talking about it, and I don't have a problem with him being in NXT. I think it's the best move he's made in a long time. I do have a problem with how they did these title switches and so on and so forth. I get it. I know. I understand the politics. It was just kind of a janky move, guys. I mean, if you were going to put Giulia in there and have her take a loss right out the gate like that, a title losses don't mean anything a lot of times to WWE fans. Match losses, apparently, I mean, I don't know if you could look this up or not. Shinsuke Nakamura right now is 1-39 for the entirety of 2024. He's won one match. He's dumped 39 matches in 2024. And obviously, he's still got a fan base and everything else. So his fan base in WWE obviously does not care about the wins and losses. And that's totally fine. It really is. I don't mind him. If y'all don't mind him, I don't care. But I want to see everybody work out, be happy, be healthy. This just sends the wrong vibe to me at all times. Anytime I see something like this happen with incoming stars, it starts to put everything in perspective for me. And that's when I bring it to you in that manner, in that way, shape, and manner. Because, quite frankly, with all due respect to creative, Julia should have won that match. And we should be talking about what Roxanne Perez is going to be doing on the main roster. Because honestly, it can only be diminishing returns because in the back, Stephanie Vacour's got to be watching all this coming down, going, okay, wait a minute, I don't think I signed up to lose all my matches. But it's too late, sweetie. You signed on the dotted line. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to support both of them in all of the situations that they're in. And I even bothered to watch NXT the minute I could. I watched it because I do support my favorite wrestlers, regardless of where they wrestle. And quite frankly, I think that's something we should all do. I watch it. I watch WWE Raw and SmackDown because I still support my favorite wrestlers, even if I'm not terribly fond of the show. There's shows I'm not fond of, but I'll watch them anyway. I watched Impact for the first time in a long time. Thank you, Sling TV. But that's neither here nor there. Overall impression of NXT Day One was, it was pretty good. I'm not going to shit all over the show. I don't believe in doing that. I don't have time for that really. And this is supposed to be a short pop-up stream where I talk about the news for the week, push Dynamite, and go from there because quite frankly, Dynamite is the focus tonight. The AEW TV deal is the focus of everything. I just wanted to cover a little bit of NXT because there was an awful lot of hype about it. The numbers popped out real quick. They had over 800,000 views, at least across cable television. So that's not bad. That's not bad. I would say CM Punk moved the needle to about 200,000. That's not a lot, but at least it's a needle mover. Gets them closer to a milli. Hey, you know what? If NXT gets a milli, great. I never thought that I would see the day where we'd be having that discussion because NXT is the developmental brand, developmental brand, developmental brand. So I never thought we'd see the day where we were talking about can NXT get a million views. I think if they pull in Delta and they pull in Stephanie Vacour at the right time, timing is absolutely everything. I would honestly like to see all three of them. I would like to see all three of them on the main show before the next premium live event. The only question is with WWE, is that even possible? I don't know. I don't know, but at the rate they're going right now, it looks like that's what we could come up with. We could have Delta and we could have Stephanie Vacour on the scene by their next premium live event. And I don't even remember what the name of it is right now. I'm not even coming up with it. But when it does air, I will cover it. I will be doing some Bad Blood coverage probably Sunday. For those of you who don't know, we kind of had a hurricane here in North Carolina. So next week I'm going to be scarce, so to speak, because the fact of the matter is I got to go up to the mountains and help my people out. The people that I work with, the partners that we have, I have to go up there and see what kind of mess we got. I don't even know what I'm walking into yet. For the most part, from what I can see so far, it's not real pretty. So, with that in mind, if you guys could continue to keep North Carolina in your thoughts, prayers, however it is that you do it, whether you meditate or what have you, meditate on that for a little bit because we're hurting. We're hurting. North and South Carolina, just something to think about for those of you planning to come up towards Tennessee for that TNA event they've got going on today and tomorrow. Just going to let you in on a little hint right now. Gas is very scarce, and it's mainly first responders. When it gets to this point here, we generally will fill up first responders before we will fill up cars. Please travel. Please make your plans accordingly. That's how this state works, how it's always worked. Um, if you have to go through those areas, be careful. They were already rough as it was. The river dropping about 6 boulders in the middle of the highway didn't do us any favors. A lot of the highways are washed out. A lot of your GPS is probably going to be inaccurate when you're coming through here. Just something to keep in mind. It's not been pretty. This week's been ugly, but we're getting through it. So keep them in your prayers. And the mere fact that we are going to have AEW 5-year celebration of Dynamite tonight is remarkable, because shout out to the 14 that we got. And you have to remember, FTR, there's a lot of people that will be performing tonight that some of them lost everything they got, and they're having to rebuild, and they're stopping to entertain you. They're stopping to do their job. Now, when I say that, you have to understand that the way this week has gone so far, this is a welcome distraction from everything else for a lot of the performers. So if we could take it a little easy on them this week, just understand a lot of them didn't even have to show up, and they are doing that anyway for us. Give me just a minute. I'm reaching out for the card right now for this week, for tonight, and we're going to see what we've got. Give me just a second here. One of the matches we've got out of the gate, Bryan Danielson versus Okada. I'm not even Kazuchika Okada. And the Continental title will be up for grabs for the first 20 minutes of this match. Tells me three things. Number one, this match is probably going to go longer than 20 minutes. A lot of the discourse I saw online for this one was just absolutely horrible. It's just a little bit of enticement. If Bryan Danielson can get the job done in 20 minutes or less, he'll be a double champion. Do I think this match is going longer than 20 minutes? Absolutely. Absolutely, this match is going longer than 20 minutes. Daniel Bryan can't wrestle 20 minutes. That's not a slide either. The man gets started at 15. So the match is probably going to go longer than 20 minutes. I'm giving this one, since we've got at least a 30-minute overrun that we know about, and he said 30 minutes or longer. So this is going to be a long, action-packed Dynamite. I see this match going at least 40, 45 minutes. And I'm going to put this out here. I think Bryan Danielson does not win clean. I think Bryan Danielson does not win clean. I don't know exactly how it all goes together. Danielson finishes out the night with the title. That's the bottom line. Danielson finishes the night out with the title. And we go from there. I know that we've got Will Ospreay versus Ricochet. Will Ospreay versus Ricochet. Now, on its surface, I've seen a lot of discourse for this match too. Will Ospreay and Ricochet have about 8.5 years of story to build behind this. Now, here's the interesting dichotomy of this whole thing. Wow, we're at 17. Thank you. The interesting dichotomy of this entire thing is pretty simple. Will Ospreay and Ricochet. Will Ospreay has a couple of losses. Ricochet's undefeated right now, and I think Tony's pushing that undefeated streak to go along with more than just hologram. So I'm kind of torn up on this match here. Do I think Ricochet deserves a title in the door right out of the gate? You're damn right he does. Does it need to come at the expense of Will Ospreay? I'm not 100% sure this is where we wanted to stand our ground and die on this hill. Like I said earlier in the post, guys, this is going to be a hard match for me to watch. So I'm kind of hoping for like a Purple Rain ending, something like that, for either one, whichever one wins. Because I have two dogs in this fight, and it's a hard match for me to go through. I'm giving this match 25 minutes minimum. I want it to go 38 minutes because that's a good Will Ospreay match, about 30 to 38 minutes. And I'm going with the upset here. I got to pick King Ricochet. As much as I hate to say it, I know Will just got this title back. But King Ricochet has a lot to prove, and quite frankly, I would not be frustrated if Ricochet picked up the win over Will Ospreay, not necessarily as a get back at WWE per se, but more of an aspect to give Ricochet exactly what he deserved as a performer when he worked at WWE. Everybody says, oh, he's mid. No, he's not mid. No. Ricochet is about 150,000 light years away from mid. You still haven't seen part of anything of what he's capable of doing. You damn sure didn't see it in WWE. We've only seen glimpses of it so far in AEW while he's getting rid of that ring rust. So, with that being said, this is going to be a banger. I'm giving it 30 to 38 minutes, and my upset of the night is going to be Ricochet. Ricochet's going to get it done, and I don't see it any other way. If this were Will Ospreay and Hologram, it would be a whole lot more defined. But I don't think those two are going to run into each other for at least 6 more months. Ricochet and if it was Will Ospreay and Hologram, it would be a no-brainer for me because they're not going to let Hologram lose this year, so it would be his title. The fact that we're seeing Ricochet and Will Ospreay together here now, like I said, it's a tear me up match. I'm going with Ricochet for the win, clean, take the title. As much as it kills me to say that, because I think it's too early to have this match, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not Tony Khan. I don't see what Tony sees. So, with that being said, Ricochet for the win. We got Britt Baker versus Serena Deeb. This one right here, to me, I would personally like to see Britt job this one out. And before anybody goes, oh, what the hell are you talking about? Serena's got some pretty doggone good action going on in the mid-cards right now. And if she could rip one off of Britt Baker, that would probably move her back into contention into the top tier section, where it would make a whole lot more sense for her and Mercedes Moné to go at it for at least a match than it would right now coming off of Queen Aminata and those wins and so on and so forth. I see it from that perspective as being sort of an ego boost. Shout out to 18. Thank you. And I had no more said nothing. Somebody disappeared. That's okay. We don't mind. We're having a good time. We got that TV deal. Just can't stop talking about that either. But anyway, we got Serena Deeb. We got Britt Baker. If anybody is going to drop a match tonight that needs to be dropped, it's going to be Britt Baker. That's correct. Yeah, that's who I feel. That's who I'm feeling for that one. Serena Deeb. Of course, we're going to have the Blackpool Combat Club tonight. Interested to see what Moxley's going to do. I'm trying not to sneeze. Don't understand why I'm still trying not to sneeze, but it's all good. We're doing that. Mercedes Moné is going to be there. The match of the night for me, though, and I hate to say this, it's going to be, I don't hate to say it, but people hate to hear me say it. Hangman Adam Page, Juice Robinson. Shout out to both of them for being able to create heat on a show that didn't even correspond to the show. I'm really trying not to sneeze. Sorry, guys. That corresponds to the show. Shout out to them for putting a match together like this and having it make sense. Okay? Now, Juice Robinson is the comic du jour of AEW. And he does a damn good job of it, but you know what? He can actually wrestle too. And the reality of it is that this is going to be a good match. Juice can take bumps. Adam can give bumps out. We saw it all out that Hangman can take bumps. Both of these guys can take some huge bumps. And we don't have the rest of the match card right now, but those are the matches that we do have. I'm picking Juice Robinson to lose mightily. It's not going to be a squash, but it's definitely going to be a loss. Hangman Adam Page's development from face to heel to ultra heel has been a beautiful thing to watch. It's just been an absolutely gorgeous thing to watch, top to finish, top to bottom. And while we're at it, I mean, shoot, let's give the boys over in Stamford a holler real quick, because we got the matches for next week with NXT, and then I'm going to let y'all go so we can have lunch or dinner and we get ready for all this good work we're getting ready to get tonight. But I do have the lineup for next week's NXT so far. And here's what we know so far. We got Randy Orton versus Javon Evans. Randy Orton is actually going to slump it down in NXT to give Javon a workout. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure whether this is not an audition to go to the main roster, because Javon could probably work it now. And I'm, of course, picking Randy Orton to win that match. And what is likely Obafemi's last match in NXT before he gets called up to the main roster, he will be defending the North American Championship against Tony D'Angelo. And we know Tony got close last time, and maybe it'll be better this time here, but I think Tony's going to go over this. I think Oba's getting called up to the main roster. The fact that Roxanne Perez did not drop the title to Giulia last night tells me she's going to be hanging around for just a little bit longer until they decide who she's going to dump the title on. But I think Oba dumps the title next week to Tony D'Angelo and rides off into that sunset as a very well-developed NXT performer. I desperately hope that he translates to the main roster. Otherwise, this is going to be a disaster all the way around. But I think Oba can translate. It just depends on who they put him with. I think Oba's got his head screwed on straight, and this might not be one in a usual. This might be the one in like 5 that have translated properly up to the main roster. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Kalani Jordan are going to go against Fatal Influence. That's a no-brainer right there. Anybody knows who's going to win that match there. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Kalani Jordan. They are not going to put an L on Jade Cargill on NXT. I just never see that happening. So that's that. And then we're going to have A-Town Down Under versus Fraxium. And this is going to be a great big nothing burger for me. Fraxium retains. I don't see how they couldn't retain. I don't know why in the world they would want to put them down there at that level. Shout out to 21. Thank y'all very much. Y'all don't know what that means to me, man. 21 is great. I really appreciate it. Back to the TV deal. Back to the TV deal, because that's the main reason I fired this stream up in the first place. Over the next few weeks, probably weeks, this is not going to be a 48-hour news cycle. I just want to say this, and then I'm going to let everybody go, because it's dinner time, and we've got some good wrestling lined up tonight on Dynamite, so we don't want to miss any of that. And plus, I know you got other streams and stuff you want to watch, and I don't want to hold you up. This was never intended to be longer than like an hour. And I think we're going to have it done in about 40 minutes even. But we're going to get back to this TV deal now, because this is a very important thing here. There are certain people that, for whatever reason, may exist. Now, let me preface all this by saying I am somewhat guilty, but when I do it, I'm doing it in the spirit of fun. I'm doing it in the spirit to make fun. And I'm really kind of doing a parody of what I see. When you see me throw out what I consider to be a drone post, it's because I'm getting in the discourse with a couple of jokey jokes, okay? I don't care. I don't care that Raw lost viewership. I don't care that SmackDown lost viewership. They've been around for over 30 years on these television brands they're going to be around for as long as they want to be around. And it's that damn simple. If they have 500,000 people viewing, people will hang with them because they know it will get better. It never really gets worse. So, that being said, though, those are going to be the people that fill up your feed for the next week to 2 weeks. This is going to be one of those things that does not go away. Eric Bischoff is going to bitch and moan. Bully, bitch and moan. JD from the toilet bowl, bitch and moan. That's all he's been doing right now is the Ray Phoenix thing. And all that is business. When WWE does it, it's business. When AEW does it, it's the end of the world and he's a tyrant and he needs to go away. And that's the discourse we're going to see a lot of this week. Probably more than that. It's probably going to be ugly. I'm probably going to be laughing all the way. It's all going to be a joke to me. It's all going to be an absolute joke to me that all of this is happening. But just so you know, coming down the pike, you're probably going to see a lot of ugly discourse. Do not get involved with it because the quicker we ignore this stuff, the quicker it's going to go away. Because you can only grift so far. I'm going to say that one more time. You can only grift so far. So the less energy we give these cats coming up here for the next few days, because it is going to be longer than a 48-hour period. Once you figure that Ricochet may very well have a title on him by the end of the night, they're going to have a TV deal. Then Fox on top of all that. Oh, the drones are going to need ketamine rehab. That's just a fact right there. They're going to need to tune in, drop out, and just go through their day for probably a couple of months because the big bad Tony Khan is going nowhere for a minimum of 3 years. Probably 4, probably 10. Really, honestly, if he feels like it, probably 20. Before he sells it off to somebody and moves on. So it's just going to be that way. But we have the TV deal. Everything's in order. I'm getting ready for some fantastic Dynamite tonight. I hope you guys are too. Just a reminder that the NXT show is in replay right now on the CW app. That's helpful for folks like me because I couldn't watch it all last night. Too much going on, so I got to watch it this morning. It was absolutely awesome. See, I'm trying to be kind of decent to both products, and sometimes WWE doesn't give me a lot of room. And when I came on the stream, I had every intention of just absolutely blowing it completely out. But the reality of it is, there are bigger things than that, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, there's going to be some performers tonight on AEW. Dynamite lost everything they had. Think about that. And right now, in a time like this, that's the important thing. And that's what I choose to focus on. Because that's the way we ought to be as basic, decent human beings. Now, we have the deal. Everybody can stop talking about they're not going to be on television next year. You can drop that grift. It's over with. That's over with. You didn't get swerved. You can drop that grift. It's over with. And chances are you're not going to get Ray Phoenix either. And that's what everybody's starting to get pissed off about. It's over with. Move on. I'm ready to move on. Thank goodness. Good Lord, we got 25 viewers in here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. But for the most part, we're going to be picking up here. I'm going to give you, I also want to take a moment to give you a heads up on some stuff. We're going to start covering Ring of Honor, and I'm going to start covering TNA Impact on the regular, because I get it on the regular. Going to be covering Shockwave. We're going to be dropping some Stardom stuff. I'm going to be dropping some New Japan, because I've got New Japan now. I've got a little bit of everything. I don't want to review it unless I've seen it with my own two eyes. I don't review dirt sheets. I review product. Just so everybody knows. And I want to thank you for your support. 25 people in here on a Wednesday on a pop-up stream that I did not even announce. Thank you very much. But I'm going to go ahead and let you go now so we can all get back to dinner, TV deal, NXT okay, Dynamite, definitely looking forward to this 5th year tonight. The 5th year. This is a big deal. There's a lot of television shows out there where your favorite people in didn't make it 4 seasons. We made it 5 so far, with 3 more at least to go. 1 optional, which I think will get picked up. It's not a problem. I don't see that being a problem 3 years from now at all, period. As long as they stay in the top 3, and in most cases the #1 show on that night for cable, they should get picked up relatively easy, and that's the part the drones missed. But we didn't miss it, and we hope you didn't either. So for now, we're going to be back Saturday afternoon after Collision. I will be watching some of Bad Blood, but I will be watching a lot of Collision more than I will some of Bad Blood. And we'll go from there, and probably, depending on how things go, we may run the stream Sunday, so be on the lookout for that. And I really appreciate y'all's support, man. 24, 25 viewers at one time. Big deal for me. Pop-up stream. I'm only a half hour in. I kept you for about 40 minutes, and I'm going to let you go right now. Be sure, tonight, after Dynamite, whenever that is, after Dynamite, tune in to The Covalent TV. That's at The Covalent TV. Going to drop it in the Twitter chat. And let's see here if I can drop it into here. There we go. There we go. It's going across all the chats right now, so you should be able to see it. I can send stuff to y'all, but for right now, I'll figure out why I can't see what you're saying. It's neither here nor there, but I'll have that sorted out here quickly. I appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate y'all just being around today, and I would like to I'd like to end this off by saying, you know what? Good afternoon, America, wherever you are. Grabs TV Sicko Show. I'm your host, the Matty Man. Let's enjoy Dynamite tonight. Y'all have a good evening. I'll see you on Saturday.